I have to ask you this question now because I've been watching to see what you were going to do. And I'm told that you intend to stay in this race for president because you believe there is a path to victory. I want to know what that path is because this feels a little bit like it did when you didn't come out when Hillary Clinton was clearly the person folks were going for. So can you explain why you're still in the race and what this path is that you see?
One of the reasons, that's not quite accurate. I worked as hard as I could for Hillary Clinton. But the reason there is a path
Bernie, just so we're clear, you worked for Hillary, but it took you a very, very long time to hop in. And your people also, it took a very long time for them to hop in. So when I say that, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't accept that characterization. But the point is, people have a right.
Why are you still in the race?
People have a right. Last I heard, people in a democracy have a right to vote, and they have a right to vote for the agenda that they think can work for America, especially in this very, very difficult moment. We are assessing our campaign, as a matter of fact, where we want to go forward. But people in a democracy do have a right to vote. And right now, in this unprecedented moment in American history, I think we need to have a very serious discussion about how we go forward. And one of the things that I am working on with other members of the Senate and Congress is a new stimulus package, which not only makes sure that all of our people in this crisis have health care, but also that they continue to receive their paycheck. We have got to understand where we are at. And right now is April 1st. It is likely possible there are millions of people who cannot pay their rent, cannot pay their mortgage.
Yes. But wouldn't it be smarter for you to continue on that path to make sure that gets done?
Well, we are doing it. Believe me, I am doing it. Our nature of our... I'm sitting in my house right now. I'm not holding a rally in Wisconsin because of the nature of campaigns. But right now, what I am primarily focusing on with other members of the Congress is a new what we call a coronavirus 4 stimulus package, which will guarantee that every worker in America continues to receive his or her paycheck, that states and cities get the kind of revenue they need to maintain their payroll and take care of the work that they have got to do. What I am very worried about
is that people cannot afford to.
Well, you know,
your plan is to
said that we are well, for the fourth time.
You're assessing.
We are assessing.
Okay. All right.
We are assessing.
Very good. Sarah, you have a question.
Senator, yeah, I want to keep it just for a second on the election still. For a while, you were the front runner and people had essentially written off a Biden candidacy. But then it took a turn on Super Tuesday. And why do you think you underperformed that day? You had mentioned that a lot of the numbers show that the younger voters, who are much of your base, didn't really come out. Why do you think that is?
Well, I could tell you, why that is. And I think the main reason is that several of my opponents kind of dropped out right before Super Tuesday. But if it's okay with you, my focus right now and what I think the focus of America has got to be is how we deal with the incredible, unprecedented crisis we are now experiencing. And the point that I'm making is if we don't make sure that people are going to have the money they need to pay their rent, to pay their student loans, to pay their credit card loans, to pay their mortgages, you're not only going to have personal crises by the millions, but if people are not paying their loans, the banking system is going to have a problem. So I would hope that everybody understands that we have got to look to the future in a very different way than we have looked before, and that Congress is going to have to act in a way that we have never seen. Most importantly, in my view, we have got to do what other countries around the world are doing, what the UK is doing, what Norway is doing, and by the way, what we did in the last stimulus package. You may or may not know this, but as a result of that package, over 2 million workers in the airline industry, most of whom are not working right now, they're at home, they are continuing to receive a paycheck. And that is what we should be doing, in my view, for every worker in America. Workers need to have the ease of mind to know that they still have their jobs, even if they're not at work, they still have their paycheck. Will that be expensive? It will. But I think that is the most significant path forward. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just
Sonny,
to clarify,
go ahead.
I totally understand that the emphasis needs to be on the times we're in. I think so many people are trying to look down the road on more systematic changes in the election that can hopefully bring some of these visions forward, which is why we're asking a bit about that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm indicating this is exactly what I believe in. I think we need to have that kind of discussion. We have got to be thinking about the future in a very different way than we thought about the past, because the moment is so very different. And what I want everybody in this country to understand is that we have a government that cares about them. Whether you're middle class, whether you're working class, whether you are homeless today, our job now is to make sure that every American says that in this terrible pandemic, you know what, we're going to have the economic resources to buy the food, to pay the rent, to pay our student debt. That's what we've got to do. We are not there yet.
Sonny, go ahead.
I would hope that in a bipartisan way, the Congress can act effectively.